Oh boy. Okay, let's make this video. Hi, UKFA here. So I really just want to make this video because some thoughts have been going through my head, and I feel like I just want to, just say it out loud so I just don't forget. To make a long story short, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet just got announced recently. I mean, I'm not even surprised at this point that the internet is having mixed reactions. A lot of the conversation, especially since Arceus is fresh in our minds and came out about a month ago, graphics are, not great or not up to par or whatever. I feel like I have to be not the only person to say this, but like look at me. Look at me in the eyes, look at me. When have mainline Pokemon games ever looked great? The reason I say this too is not to crap on, Pokemon games, because oh boy, I don't know if I'm probably gonna put it up somewhere, but I play a lot of Pokemon games. I'm very much a Pokemon fan. I was one of the people who actually enjoyed Sword and Shield. I am loving Arceus, and I can actually say that because they made some new content that we can enjoy. Yeah, man, it's just this conversation again. And one thing that I will say was funny, I did see that going around the internet, is that they put like so many different kinds of trees. They were like, yeah, you're not gonna talk to us about trees. And I thought that was pretty funny. Since we're talking graphics and reveal, let's continue on that subject. I kind of agree that I'm not a big fan of the protagonist's design. I think the girl is fine. The dude just seems kind of generic. I mean, that's the point. It's the avatar character. But if people are worried about like if you can customize your character, like bro, we've been able to customize our character since Gen 6. Like it's not gonna be an issue. Like, what? Why is this part of the conversation? I just don't understand. I think the reason most people are upset or mad or raging on the internet, is because they want the next big step in Pokemon to be huge. You're allowed to want that. That's fine. It's just that it's been 26 years. Like, I will give you this. We were all shocked at how good Arceus is. I'm not gonna say was, because I mean, hey, there's free content, and who knows, there might be some more free content in the future. I feel like I'm a crazy person for being like just accepting things how they are and just kind of moving on. Like, Pokemon is never really gonna make that huge effort to make this great, beautiful game that's actually gonna run properly and have all these Pokemon and have great mechanics. It's just, to me, it's not realistic. It's not a realistic goal to want to have for Pokemon. I came to terms with that and what Pokemon actually is, a while ago. Like, I'm gonna be 33 this year. Pokemon's been around for 26 years. It's just, that's one of the main things that just bothered me when I saw it online. I was like, when have they ever been focused on graphics though? Like, when has that happened? Like, the animations for the attacks have been stylish. One thing that I will say though is that if you played any kind of modern games, you know that the file sizes can be huge. People don't realize how that sacrifice they made graphics wise, I believe, is just 100% intentional, because I mean, and if you play Pokemon Legends Arceus, like, you can teleport and fast travel from one spot of the map like in a second. Like, the load times are pretty damn good in this game. That's something that you don't realize, that you kind of take for granted. There's just a lot of quality of life things that happen in Arceus. Load times is one of them, because if you had high-res 4K textures in your Pokemon game, trust me, you would not be enjoying it as much. Yeah, there's pop-in, there's all these things. It doesn't look the greatest, even though some aspects do, which it can be a little jarring. Like, I know a lot of people compliment the skybox, which I agree with. It's beautiful. Since there's never a moment where there's excessive load time or whatever, you're playing the game. Gameplay in this game is king, and they actually managed to do something where the gameplay is fantastic and you enjoy playing the game. Like, you enjoy throwing Pokeballs, battling, your character can still move like most of any action you're doing in the game, which is great. And when you think about that, when you're playing other games, how if you're spending, like, even if it's 5 seconds in a loading screen or loading time, that's time that you're using and not playing the game. Well, it's just 5 seconds, it's just 10 seconds, might not seem like a lot, but in this kind of category, a lot of small things tend to actually accumulate over time. If you spend 10 seconds on loading screen in like a 50-hour game, it's gonna add up. Even in Pokemon Sword and Shield, like, excessive load times almost never really happened. And yeah, it never breaks the gameplay, and that's just something that I think you should actually we live in a time where people tend to focus only on the negatives and not it's only negative. They don't see positives, or you focus on the negatives and you don't do anything else. And that's kind of very narrow-minded, and you shouldn't really do that. But if you're going to criticize something, you have to criticize all of its points, not just the negative stuff. And the other thing I wanted to bring up though is these comparisons. Maybe I'm just old or dumb or naive, but if you're going to compare anything to Pokemon, it should be to Pokemon. I see so many people. Oh, okay, this is frustrating me now. I see so many people online saying, "Oh, you know, it looks like a PS2 game or it looks like a GameCube game." That's such a wide statement. That would mean that Parappa the Rappa or something like God of War is on the same level. Like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's just something you're saying on the internet for like internet points. It doesn't actually make sense to compare something to a PS2 or PS3 game. Like, what does that even mean? Like, when you really think about it, it's just stupid. Another thing that's also incorrect, I believe, is to compare Pokemon to other games of the same genre that are running on the same system. Because I see Xenoblade popping up in the conversation a lot, or Ni no Kuni, or Dragon Quest, and you know, the list goes on and on. They're just not the same company. Like, do you guys all think that everybody just shares the same video game engines and the same number of teams and the same amount of budget? Like, it just doesn't work that way. If you're comparing it to Xenoblade, like, you need to understand that Monolith Soft has been pushing graphics on limited hardware ever since the Wii. That's just their forte. But Monolith Soft is not Game Freak. They're just not. Game Freak is not Square Enix, they're not Monolith Soft, they're Game Freak. Like, it boggles my mind. Like, to me, it's just not a valid comparison. Just say that you think the game is ugly and move on. That is what I'm trying to say. You know, when you really think about it, some of the comparisons are kind of stupid and just really baseless, and just people raging and typing stuff on the internet and on Twitter just to get attention, which is probably what I'm doing. But like, hey, I just think the whole thing is kind of stupid. I mean, we all saw that like 2-frame Chingling, and now that Arceus is out and we're playing it, it's like one of the best Pokemon experiences we've had in a very long time. I'm gonna buy it. Like I said, I'm a Pokemon fan. I bought all the main Pokemon games, a lot of the spin-offs, so it's gonna be the same for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Of the 3 starters, like, I'm always gonna pick grass. Sorry, I know it's the cliche, I'm still just gonna pick grass. But surprisingly enough, of the 3 starters, the one that I like the most is actually the fire type. So I'm gonna pick Sprigatito. Fuecoco is my favorite design-wise. Okay, so that was just a short like rant video. Not sure how I'm gonna edit this. I feel like it's been turning around in my mind. I just needed to put it in video format so it's out there on the internet and I can just post it and just maybe it's there. And I won't have to talk about it anymore. I guess if you're gonna take anything away from this video is that people on the internet are gonna say what they're gonna say. A lot of people are kind of just stuck in their own like bubble. You make your own opinions. Actually look at things factually, so you're just not contributing to the rage fire that really doesn't help anyone. And that's it. Look at Glaceon, and like those are 2 of some of my favorite Pokemons. Okay, bye.